The hidden thread. How Kabbalah weaved its way into Christianity and still holds sway. For centuries, two of the world's most influential spiritual traditions, Judaism and Christianity, have been viewed as separate, often conflicting paths. But what if I told you there's a hidden river of mystical thought that secretly flowed from one into the other? A river of esoteric knowledge that involved medieval knights, secret societies, and a philosophical revolution that, according to some, still influences the levers of power in our world today. Welcome, everyone! In the next 10 minutes, we're going to unravel one of history's most controversial and fascinating stories: the infiltration of Kabbalah into Christianity. We'll follow the trail from ancient Jewish mystics to the Knights Templar, through the Renaissance, and right up to the modern symbols that surround us. Strap in, because this is a journey into the hidden heart of Western esotericism. Part 1. What is Kabbalah? Before we talk about infiltration, we need to understand what was being infiltrated. So, what is Kabbalah? At its core, Kabbalah is the mystical and esoteric dimension of Judaism. The word itself means to receive, implying a received secret tradition. It's not a single book, but a vast body of teachings that seek to explain the relationship between the eternal, mysterious Ein Sof, the infinite, and the mortal, finite universe. The most famous symbol of Kabbalah is the Tree of Life, or the Sephirot. This isn't a physical tree, but a map of the divine. It consists of 10 Sephirot, or emanations, through which the infinite God reveals himself and continuously creates both the physical and metaphysical realms. Think of it as a spiritual circuit board. It describes the flow of divine energy from the Godhead down into our world, and it provides a path for the mystic to ascend back towards the divine through meditation and ethical living. Key concepts include the Ein Sof, the endless, unknowable God beyond all definition; the Sephirot, the 10 attributes or channels through which God interacts with creation; Tikkun Olam, the concept of repairing the world, a divine-human partnership to restore spiritual harmony. For centuries, this was a guarded oral tradition within Judaism. But then, in the 12th and 13th centuries, something changed. Key texts, most notably the Zohar, were written and began to circulate in Spain and southern France. The secret was out, and it caught the attention of a very unexpected audience: Christian scholars. Part 2. The Gateways. How Kabbalah entered Christian thought. So, how did a deeply Jewish mystical system find its way into a religion that had spent over a millennium defining itself in opposition to Judaism? The answer lies in 2 main gateways: Renaissance magic and a deliberate strategy of conversion. The first major gateway was through Christian magicians and philosophers during the Renaissance. Figures like Giovanni Pico della Mirandola in the 15th century became fascinated with Kabbalah. They saw it not as a Jewish truth, but as a universal ancient wisdom that confirmed the truth of Christianity. Pico famously declared that no science can better convince us of the divinity of Jesus Christ than magic and the Kabbalah. How? Christian Kabbalists began reinterpreting the Tree of Life. They said the central Sephira, Tiferet, beauty, was Jesus Christ. The concept of divine emanation mirrored the Logos, or the Word of God. They even used Hebrew letter numerology, called gematria, to find hidden proofs of Christian doctrine in the Hebrew Old Testament. This was, of course, a massive reinterpretation, some would say a misappropriation, of the original Jewish system. But it made Kabbalah palatable and incredibly exciting to the Christian intellectual elite. The second gateway was the Knights Templar. This is where our story takes a dramatic turn. The poor fellow soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon were founded in 1119 to protect pilgrims in the Holy Land. But their headquarters was on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, the spiritual center of the world. During their time in the Middle East, they weren't just fighting, they were learning. They had extensive contact with Islamic Sufi mystics and, crucially, with Jewish Kabbalists. What did they learn? Part 3. The Templar Connection and the Aftermath. The Templars became incredibly powerful and wealthy, answering to no one but the Pope. Rumors swirled. What were their secret initiation rites? Why did their iconography seem so un-Christian? Many researchers, like the late Malcolm Barber and modern esoteric historians, suggest the Templars were exposed to a primal, Gnostic form of Kabbalah. This wasn't the complex philosophical system of the Zohar, but a more practical, even magical tradition. It may have emphasized a direct, personal experience of the divine that bypassed the church, a concept terrifying to the established power. This knowledge gave them a unique spiritual identity, and may have been the source of their alleged heresy, like the worship of a mysterious head known as Baphomet, a figure some link to the Kabbalistic pursuit of unifying opposites. King Philip IV of France, deeply in debt to the Templars, moved against them. On Friday, October 13th, 1307, he had hundreds of Templars arrested, charging them with heresy, blasphemy, and sodomy. The order was brutally suppressed, and its last Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burned at the stake. But did the knowledge die with him? Almost certainly not. The popular theory is that fleeing Templars took their secrets and their treasures to Scotland and Switzerland, seeding other esoteric societies. This hidden stream of Kabbalah-influenced thought resurfaced in the Rosicrucian manifestos of the 17th century, and most importantly, in Freemasonry. The Masonic obsession with the Temple of Solomon is no accident. It's a direct Templar and, by extension, Kabbalistic inheritance. The Masonic pursuit of light and lost wisdom is a direct echo of the Kabbalistic quest for divine knowledge. This esoteric thread, now woven into the fabric of Western secret societies, was about to shape the modern world. Part 4. The Modern Legacy. Does it still control today? This brings us to the most pressing question. Is this just a historical curiosity, or does this syncretic Kabbalistic Templar tradition still hold power today? The answer is complex. It doesn't control the world in the way a conspiracy theory might suggest, with a secret room of people pulling levers. Its influence is more subtle, more philosophical, and deeply embedded in the systems we live in. Let's look at the evidence. Number 1. Founding Fathers and Freemasonry. Many of America's founders, like George Washington and Benjamin Franklin, were prominent Freemasons. The Great Seal of the United States is a Kabbalistic and Masonic masterpiece. The pyramid with the all-seeing eye, it's a representation of the Godhead, the Eye of Providence, overseeing the unfinished work of creation, the pyramid, a core Kabbalistic concept. The Latin phrases annuit coeptis, he has favored our undertakings, and Novus Ordo Seclorum, New Order of the Ages, speak directly to this idea of a divinely guided new era. Number 2. The financial system. The Templars essentially invented modern banking with their system of letters of credit. Their spiritual descendants, the Freemasons, were instrumental in building the global financial infrastructure. The very design of the dollar bill, the world's reserve currency, is a testament to this philosophical influence. 3. Symbols in plain sight. From the architecture of government buildings to the logos of major corporations and university seals, the symbols of this tradition, the pillars of Boaz and Jachin from Solomon's Temple, the compass and square, the obsession with geometric order, are everywhere. This isn't necessarily control, but it is a pervasive cultural watermark, indicating that the worldview of these esoteric systems became the worldview of the modern West. So, what is the takeaway from this 10-minute journey? The story of Kabbalah's journey into Christianity is not a simple tale of good versus evil or a sinister conspiracy. It is the story of ideas, powerful, transformative ideas about God, creation, and humanity's place in the cosmos. It was adopted, adapted, and sometimes weaponized by everyone from Renaissance Magi to knightly monks to revolutionary Freemasons. This hidden thread didn't just infiltrate Christianity. It helped weave the very fabric of the modern Western mind, influencing our science, our politics, and our philosophy. It championed the idea that the universe is an orderly, knowable system, and that humanity has the power and the responsibility to actively participate in its perfection. Whether you see this as a noble pursuit of light or a dangerous heretical undercurrent depends on your perspective. But one thing is certain: to understand the hidden history of the last 800 years, You cannot ignore the profound and lasting marriage between Kabbalistic mysticism and the power structures of the Christian West. The symbols are all around you. Now you know how they got there. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit the like button and subscribe for more explorations into hidden history and esoteric knowledge. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Kabbalistic influence on our world. Thanks for watching.